In 2020, if you had put $10,000 into Tesla, you'd have had over $80,000 by the end of the year. Most people missed it. And right now, in 2025, the exact same setup is forming. But this time, it's not EVs. It's nuclear and fusion energy stocks. And if you sleep on this like people slept on Tesla, you're going to regret it. Here's the thing, you're already feeling this. Your electricity bill didn't just go up, it went way up. The average American household is paying nearly 18% more for electricity than they were 3 years ago. That's not inflation noise. That's a structural problem that isn't going away. And meanwhile, AI data centers, run by Microsoft, Google, Amazon, are consuming power at a rate that would have seemed insane 5 years ago. A single ChatGPT query uses roughly 10 times more electricity than a Google search. Multiply that by billions of queries per day. The grid is already straining. Solar and wind? Great, but they can't run 24/7. They can't power a data center at 3 a.m. when the wind isn't blowing. The energy world has a gap, and nuclear is the only thing that fits inside it. Coming up, I'm going to show you exactly which companies are positioning to own this moment, and how to think about adding them to your portfolio. But first, let me give you the context that Wall Street isn't putting in your news feed. Think back to 2019. EVs were a niche thing. The media was skeptical. Range anxiety was real. Then a few big catalysts hit: government subsidies, falling battery costs, and Elon Musk showing up everywhere, and the entire sector went vertical. Early investors in Tesla, NIO, and Rivian made life-changing returns in under 24 months. Nuclear energy is sitting in that exact same 2019 moment right now. And I don't say that lightly. Here's your proof. In 2022, the US government passed the Inflation Reduction Act, the biggest clean energy investment in American history. Buried inside it, massive subsidies for nuclear power, tax credits, loan guarantees, direct funding for next-gen reactor development. Then in 2024, Microsoft signed a deal to restart 3 Mile Island. Yes, that 3 Mile Island, specifically to power its AI infrastructure. Google signed a deal for small modular reactors. Amazon followed. When the 3 biggest tech companies in the world are signing nuclear contracts, that's not a trend. That's a signal. And fusion? Fusion is the one that could make every other energy source look like a horse-drawn carriage. We're talking about the same process that powers the sun. And for the first time in history, private companies are getting close to making it commercially viable. The US government has pledged over $1 billion toward fusion research. That's not a science experiment anymore. That's an emerging industry. Okay, let's get into the meat. Here are 5 things you need to understand before you put a single dollar into nuclear or fusion stocks. Point 1. Small modular reactors are the iPhone moment. Traditional nuclear plants cost $20 to $30 billion and take 15 years to build. That's why most people wrote off nuclear. But small modular reactors, SMRs, change everything. They're factory-built, faster to deploy, and dramatically cheaper. Companies like NuScale Power and X Energy are leading this. Think of it like going from a mainframe computer to a laptop. Same technology, totally new form factor. And if SMRs get standardized the way iPhones got standardized, this sector multiplies. Point 2. Uranium is the battery of this trade. You don't just invest in the car company, you also invest in the lithium. In the nuclear world, that's uranium. The price of uranium has nearly tripled since 2020. And here's the kicker. There's a supply deficit. The world doesn't have enough uranium mines operating to meet projected demand by 2030. Companies like Cameco and Kazatomprom are the picks and shovels play here. If you've ever heard the expression, during a gold rush, sell shovels, this is your shovel moment. Point 3. Fusion is the 10-year moonshot in your Roth IRA. Now look, fusion is speculative. I want to be straight with you. These companies are pre-revenue, high risk, and you should only use money you're comfortable losing. But for your Roth IRA, a small speculative slice, 2 to 5%, in a fusion-focused ETF or a company like Helion Energy, which already has a power purchase agreement with Microsoft, could be the kind of bet that pays for your retirement. I'm not saying bet the farm. I'm saying don't be the person who didn't buy Amazon in 1999 because it just sold books. Point 4. The geopolitical tailwind is real. Here's something most finance YouTubers skip. Energy independence is now a national security issue. After Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Europe scrambled for energy alternatives. The US government, both parties by the way, wants domestic nuclear capacity. Bipartisan support is rare. When you see it, follow the money. Congress has approved billions in nuclear funding. The Department of Energy is fast-tracking reactor licenses. That regulatory tailwind alone could compress the timeline for every nuclear company on this list. Point 5. How to actually size this in your portfolio. Okay, real talk. Don't go all in. Here's a framework I actually believe in. If you're conservative, maybe 3 to 5% of your portfolio in a nuclear ETF like NLR or URA. Diversified, lower risk, still gets you exposure. If you're growth-oriented, you can layer in individual names like Cameco, NuScale, or Oklo alongside those ETFs. Maybe 8 to 10% of your portfolio. And if you have a Roth IRA and a longer time horizon, that's where you take your speculative fusion swing. Small position, long timeline, high upside. The point isn't to get rich overnight. The point is to not look back in 2030 and realize you had the map and didn't follow it. And before I wrap, I promised you something. I'm putting together a free checklist, the 5 nuclear and fusion tickers I'd actually look at right now, with a risk rating for each one. If you want it, comment the word READY below this video. I'll drop it in the replies. No email list, no upsell, just the list. Here's where we are. The AI energy crisis is real. Nuclear is the only 24/7 clean power source ready to meet it. The government is funding it, big tech is buying it, and the stocks? They're still early. You didn't have to miss Tesla. You don't have to miss this. If this video helped you see something you hadn't seen before, hit subscribe. I drop 1 video a week on wealth building strategies that your financial advisor probably isn't telling you about. And again, comment READY if you want that free ticker checklist. See you in the next one.